Hello, Brobs. We're back with more books. This time I did a stupid thing and put them on a little book rack I bought years ago. Had it in the estate sale, so let's start doing it. Let's start doing this, bruv. Liaison. The gripping real story of the diplomat, spy, and the Chinese opera star whose affair inspired Madame Butterfly by Joyce Wadler. A few days later, Pei Pu, and Bernard go walking near the entrance to the Forbidden City in one of their favorite places, a courtyard beyond the main gate where 5 marble bridges arch across the golden water stream. It is a beautiful evening, mild and not yet dark. The tiles of the Forbidden City are moon gold. It is a night when one feels close to emperors and legends. Right. It was a scandal that provoked shock and disbelief and inspired a long-running Broadway play, but the convicted spy at the center of the storm never told this side of the story until now, when Bernard Boursiquot, an innocent and charming 22-year-old yearning for adventure and romance, was posted to the French embassy in Beijing. He met and soon fell in love with a mysterious, seductive opera singer named Shai Pei Pu. Over the course of the next 18 years, the two lived out a passionate and dangerous liaison that produced a son, drew them into espionage, and ultimately landed them both in French prison. The whole time, Boursiquot was unaware that Pei Pu, the love of his life and his longtime sexual partner, was a man. What? All right, well, there you go. How could this happen? How could he not know? These questions intrigued the world, making Boursiquot the subject of incredulity and ridicule, and ultimately inspired an immensely popular Broadway hit, M. Butterfly, but the speculation could not begin to rival the astonishing real story. Come on, you didn't know? I had no clue that that's what this book was about. I thought it was just like a crime story. Didn't know. Wait, so how the hell did they have a kid? Wait, no, that's even more intriguing. How the hell did they have a kid? So what'd she do? He do. Who's he and who's not he? How the hell did they have a child? Would he steal the kid? Oh no, how'd you fake being pregnant? What's going on? It's kind of bizarre, honestly. I had no freaking clue that's what it was about. Oh no, almost tore the damn jacket. What are you doing, buddy? Book's probably not worth anything anyways, but damn it. This whole rack idea is not great. Harold Schechter, The Telltale Corpse, an Edgar Allan Poe mystery. Ever since childhood, our Edgar Allan Poe has seen things that are not there, heard voices others cannot, and felt utterly at home in the realm of human darkness. In Harold Schechter's intriguing, suspenseful, and delightfully wicked mystery series, Poe makes the perfect hero to unravel cases of the murderous and the macabre. The Telltale Corpse begins as Poe pays a visit to his old friend P.T. Barnum, who implores the wordsmith to travel to Boston to secure for Poe's wife an urgent medical cure. Don't know why I got it, but whatever, I got it. See some glitter on here. See it? See it sparkling? See it right there. The Suspicions of Mr. Witcher, or The Murder at Road Hill House. British Book Award. Book looks UK-ish. It is midnight on 30th June 1860, and all is quiet in the Kent family's elegant house in Road, Wiltshire. The next morning, however, they wake to find that their youngest son has been the victim of an unimaginably gruesome murder. Even worse, the guilty party is surely one of their number. The house was bolted from the inside as Jack Witcher, the most celebrated detective of his day, arrives at Road to track down the killer. The murder provokes national hysteria at the thought of what might be festering behind the closed doors of respectable middle-class homes: scheming servants, rebellious children, insanity, jealousy, loneliness, and loathing. This true story has all the hallmarks of a classic gripping murder mystery: a body, a detective, a country house steeped in secrets, and a whole family of suspects. It is the original Victorian whodunit. Why does this seem like it's fiction? This son of a bitch says fiction. Pretty sure it says. Keep saying true story. Hopefully it's not historical fiction. This is the story of a murder committed in an English country house in 1860. Alright, so maybe it's true. A Tale of Two Murders: Passion and Power in 17th Century France. Look at that king. Gruesome, he almost looks like a lion. Focus on this bastard. I guess it won't focus. As scandalous as any modern-day celebrity murder trial, the Garreau affair was a maelstrom of intrigue, encompassing daggers, poison, adultery, arch-enemies, servants, royalty, and legal proceedings that reached the pinnacle of 17th century French society. In 1638, Philippe Garreau, a judge in the highest royal court of Burgundy, allegedly murdered his equally powerful cousin, Pierre Bellet, and Bellet's valet, Philibert Nugat. The murders were all the more shocking because they were surrounded by accusations, particularly that Garreau had been carrying on a passionate affair with Bellet's wife. Conspiracy theories, including allegations that Garreau tried to poison his mother-in-law. Drama. What's this? Newspaper headline, 19 something. An Ocean Apart: The Relationship Between Britain and America in the 20th Century, by David Dimbleby and David Reynolds. Two Daves. Oh no. After the Boston Tea Party, a British tax collector tarred and feathered. That's sad, buddy. Now they rob us blind and we don't do nothing. We cringe with fear. British factory employing over 2,000 British people. Alright, so yeah. What year was this? 80s? Looks like an 87-ish sort of book. 5th edition. 1988. I was close. I've seen enough books, bruv. It looks 80-ish. Almanac of World Crime. Wasn't going to get it, but then I was just like, why not? Drugs in Early America. With the development of the Western lands, drugs in there. It's basically just a kind of like encyclopedia of meta. Yeah, almanac. It just gives you the brief synopsises, and how. I have several copies of this. As I've said, most of them are signed by. Hey, look, it's to Bob. Christine Kiesel, Best wishes, Gordie Howe and Colleen Howe. Obviously, Gordie Howe's one of the most famous hockey players ever, and anytime you can get his signature in a book, you pick it up. So I always do. Sold several of these for the $20 range. It's worth it. I always get them. Since we're in Detroit area, that's what happens. Report of the Warren Commission on the assassination of President Kennedy. He too had his Secret Service back off and allow him to be assassinated, which is pretty much what they allowed to do to Trump. I mean, the Secret Service isn't exactly a stand-up performer. I mean, they are when they choose to be, but when they're told to stand down like they did with Kennedy, as you saw him, can't remember what the agent's name is, Clint Hill maybe? I don't know if that was his name. He was on the back of the limo, and suddenly they said, "Hey, jump off, buddy." And he threw up his arms. He's like, why? In the Trump attempt, they didn't even bother to put up a pretense. They just let a guy fire at him from 150 yards. Of course, Trump wasn't president at the time, so it's not as egregious as Kennedy being assassinated on live television, but I mean, it's not much different. Anyone believes Oswald was the lone gunman will believe that this 20-year-old just randomly walked into a rally that was not guarded whatsoever, climbed up on a roof that was being used as the temporary command center for the police. I mean, and then Secret Service, which can fire at will at suspects who pose a threat, just sat there and allowed this guy to shoot. I admit the shot where he only lost part of an ear is very suspicious too, but might have been a warning to Joe Biden. Step down, bruv, or they're going to cap you too, but one can never prove it. I mean, they could prove it, but all the evidence has probably been destroyed by now. 2015. Oh, don't fall. Copy of the Jungle Book. I like the pretense to a retro cover, but still a nice hardcover if I ever decide to read the Jungle Book, which I never will. And what else do we got there? Is this it? Is this all the books? No, I didn't. I missed two. I know that. I missed these bottom ones. The Rape of Europa, the fate of Europe's treasures in the Third Reich and the Second World War. As I've stated before, I'm getting tired of picking up anything related to Nazis or the Holocaust or any of that, just because it seems to be an endless claims to somebody fighting Nazis or somebody secretly saving Jews. And at some point, there's just like, you can't prove any of the stories. Not that discounting anybody's stories, but I've probably got 30 books on such a topic, and I don't know. It's just World War II is so overwritten about for obvious reasons. But to me, I have almost zero interest in war books. But I picked it up anyway, because why not? Aching for Beauty, Foot Binding in China. I didn't really read the cover to see if it's actually about the act of foot binding or if that still goes on. Wang Ping writes with passion and an understanding strengthened by the female experience. This is a rich, necessary, and invaluable book. When Wang Ping was 9 years old, she secretly set about binding her feet with elastic bands. Foot binding had by then been outlawed in China. Women's feet liberated, but at that young age, she desperately wanted the tiny feet her grandmother had, deformed and malodorous as they were. By first examining the root of her girlhood desire, Wang unleashes a fascinating inquiry into a centuries-old custom. Aching for Beauty combines Wang's unique perspective and remarkable literary gifts in an award-winning exploration of the history and culture surrounding foot binding. She probes an astonishing range of literary references, addresses the relationship between beauty and pain, and discusses the intense female bonds that foot binding fostered, thus placing foot binding in its proper context in Chinese history and opening a window onto an intriguing culture. And had forgotten that this even existed, but yeah, I thought it was more of a study than a biography and explication on the practice. Achieving beauty through violence. So what is it? Basically, you just make the feet smaller by choking them off, kind of like a bonsai tree. I guess it would save you on cost of shoes. Foot fetishes. Since I don't understand foot fetishes, I can't really understand why anybody cares about their feet whatsoever as far as aesthetics go, but I guess some people really like feet. Never seen a foot that made me think anything but put a damn sock on. Sucking toes is absolutely disgusting. Regardless if they're clean or filthy, it's disgusting. Anyway, with that note, we'll do one more twirl and see if that's all. 2, 4, 5, 7, 9, 11 books. Well, there you go.